Okay, so you need to pick a company for your company analysis. In order to do that, you are restricted, or you need to filter out some companies based on certain criteria. They are positive equity for the last 5 years, positive operating profits and earnings for the last 5 years, positive dividends for the last 5 years, must have a price for the last 10 years, cannot be a utility company or a financial firm, and must have a market cap of greater than $1 billion. So here you are in the home, go to the add-ins, and then here you'll see some icons, and this will open up the ResearchInsight wizard. Go ahead and click Research Assistant. Now in here you will need to select some criteria or the filters for your firm. Now they're all up here for me because I've done this a couple of times, but what you'll need to do is you'll need to go to Customize and then go ahead and search for each one of these, such as under population we have economic sector code, industry sector code, financial firms, utilities companies. Let's go ahead and throw in ADRs in here too. I'm going to restrict ADRs, and there's a whole bunch of other criteria that you might want to throw in. And we have non-utility companies, so I'll go ahead and select non-utility companies that we can restrict by number of employees and so on. So you'll need to do that for each of the criteria. And I saved it. So I don't want any ADRs because they're going to complicate stuff. I'm going to restrict it to non-financial firms, and I'm going to restrict it to non-utility firms. Under the valuations, I want it to be greater than $1 billion. For market, I want a share price of greater than a 0. I want net income to be greater than 0. I want common equity to be greater than 0 also. And I need the dividends yield. There's the dividend. Oh. On operating profit, here we go, operating profit to also be greater than 0. And dividend yield. The dividend yield is the dividend divided by the price. So if the price is positive, and then the dividend yield will also be positive. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit. Now this is only for the current period, so I need to set it to be true for the last 5 years. So I'm going to hit Classic View. And the Classic View will allow me to fine-tune my filters. So I'm going to click here. Now if I go to lookup, I can see I can put in particular firms I want, or industries. Here's particular items, you know, maybe I want something from the balance sheet. Here's all the functions, and one of the functions in here is a min function, which I'm going to use, pmin. So I'm going to use that function. I can go ahead and click definition, and it will tell me some information about the function. Basically, I put in the value that I want, the formula, the beginning period and the ending period, and it will select the minimum value for those periods. So if I want the minimum value to be greater than to be no less than $1 billion, it will do that for me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close. I'm going to come here. I'm going to go ahead and put an @pmin and comma, -5 over 0. So I want the lowest value for the last 5 years to be greater than $1 billion. And then I'll hit the check mark. I'm going to do that for each one of these. Hit enter here. And then I can run it and see how many firms are available based on the criteria. Here, the price variable PRCCD, make that PRCC, that's the ending year price, and then go ahead and hit OK, and then run it. So we have 501 firms. Then you can go ahead and go to next, and this shows you all the firms. And then go to next again, and this is where you can generate your reports. You can look at things on a current year basis or historical. This is really up to you, your preference. Maybe you like to see each company separately, and then the years and the items that you want. So let's go ahead and do that one. Now we can pick items from the income statement. We can pick items from the balance sheet. Income statement, the balance sheet. We can pick or remove certain items. There's ratios here maybe that you want. Maybe you want to pick up creditworthiness. Maybe you want something about earnings estimates. You can pick up economic data. You can add certain stuff about dividends. You can put in markets and market return information, put in industry information, so such as home building. It tells you the backlog and all this other stuff. And that's what you want to dive into, more of that information when you do your analysis and you look at the firm. You might want to look at some of these more restrictive or some of these more detailed numbers, items that you can get out. So I'm going to just say I want some stuff off the balance sheet. I can go ahead and select all, and that will give me everything on the balance sheet. And maybe I also want stuff from the income statement, so I'll go ahead and say select all, and that will give me everything on the income statement. I probably don't really need all that, so it might, to make things more manageable and useful for you, it might be a good idea to kind of restrict some of the items that you need. Then I can go ahead and go next. I want it for the last 5 years up to the current year. Then I hit finish, and then it will run. And here I have basically the items on the balance sheet, and I have the items from the income statement, and I can click up here to look at all the different firms I selected.